And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and we're in the mighty 1090 studios with a great twosome of great fishermen in the studio with us today. Dale Hightower from Seaguar Fluorocarbon and Mike Wynn from Turner's Outdoorsman. Going to have a great show talking fishing here on Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
You've heard all about it. You know the angler's catching fish habit, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use this special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The main emphasis on the ranch, we're going to keep it old style. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to improve what we have. The kitchen is brand new kitchen this year with all new kitchen equipment, new stoves, ovens. We put a new freezer in. We've put in all brand new split air conditioners with thermostats to make sure every room is cold. We've also worked on the boat fleet with a couple large lures, a 31 and a 34. We've got the largest Super Ponga fleet on the East Cape, all with brand new Yamaha motors. Brand new beds. We've got all Serta beds, the best beds in Baja, I kid you not. We're working all the time at the ranch. We're not changing it, just making it a lot better. That's why we get the high TripAdvisor reviews. It's my responsibility. I got to take care of you. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero. RanchoLeonero.com. Our new reservation phone number is 800-646-2252, 646-BAJA.
For decades, the Kona Kai has been considered San Diego's premier marina, resort, and spa. Now, with millions of dollars in upgrades, the Kona Kai Resort is a destination for travelers worldwide who can live it every day. The docks and services are the finest quality in San Diego, and the Kona Kai is the closest marina to the open ocean. As a marina tenant, you enjoy many benefits, including secured free parking, a deluxe health club, swimming pool, and more. Enjoy discounts at their restaurant, bar, and hotel. If you don't have a boat, there are memberships available at a very affordable price. The Kona Kai Club has been offering members a home away from home since 1953. Members can spend their days on Kona Kai's private beach, meet new people in the club's modern lounge, share a meal with family at Vessel Restaurant and Bar, or pamper themselves in Spa Terra. Check out ResortKonakai.com on the web for more information, to reserve a slip, or inquire about joining the club. The Kona Resort, like being on vacation every day in your own backyard.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. What a killer duo you picked today, man. This is going to be a good show.
And we just put together the prizes. Wait till you hear that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, as Mike just said, somebody's going to score.
Yeah, exactly.
Big time this morning. And our pleasure to welcome Dale Hightower from Seaguar and Mike Wynn from Turner's Outdoorsman. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, guys. Great to have you guys in the studio this morning. And what's going on at Seaguar there? Just finished ICAST.
Finished ICAST. Yeah, trying to recoup from that, and, we're getting ready to go on the Red Rooster 3 here.
You lucky guys.
Yeah, so...
That's why we get both of you, right? Because you're both going on the Rooster.
Yeah, exactly.
Andy Cate's going to be at the helm?
I don't know. He's running the boat right now, and, this time of year, sometimes he needs a 5-day break every once in a while, so... that I don't know, but, I just got back from ICAST, and no really super introductions at Seaguar this year, really trying to refocus on educating people about fluorocarbon. Like when I come down here and do the show with you guys, there's still a big chunk of the, fishing population that, believe it or not, isn't familiar with fluorocarbon, let alone Seaguar.
Find that hard to believe.
I know,
I guess we're in the world, and
right.
So what kind of questions do you get from people that kind of aren't on the game?
Well, I think number one is explaining the advantages of fluorocarbon, which we keep going over on the show, which we should always refresh, which is the refraction rate's a big deal, which is the invisibility factor. Is why it got on the map. That's why fishermen out here on the West Coast started using it for saltwater fish. I tell everybody, number one reason I fish it is its abrasion resistance. I mean, it is, bar none, way more durable, way more abrasion resistant than monofilament. Low stretch, great knot strength, doesn't absorb water, chemical resistance. So there's a lot of other advantages of fishing fluorocarbon, but really teaching people of all the, I know Rick's got the Seaguar website up, and that's what makes it intimidating, is they see all the Seaguar products that is available now, trying to figure out which one's best for their fishing applications. Because back in the old days, it was Blue Label and then Carbon Pro for mainline for bass fishing. And now we have, half dozen different mainlines, half dozen different leader materials. And then you mix in, our braid that we make, the thread locked and the smackdown, and even our monofilament as well. So now it's a much more bigger family of products to choose from. And our goal is to be able to explain each of the products and their applications.
So you're going on a 5-day on the Red Rooster 3 tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
And so what are you tying? What is Dale Hightower, who can tie anything that they make on, tying on his rod?
I know. Well, I tell everybody, you can't go wrong with Fluor Premier. It's our premier product in the leader material, small diameter, great knot strength, great tying capabilities. Its suppleness, no question that's the go-to line for me.
Yeah.
I still throw Pink Label in for those bites that you just need something different, that edge. And I fish Blue Label a lot, especially on big fish.
Yeah.
We're talking, hopefully today we'll be talking some big bluefin, but I was listening to the show yesterday and really was glad that we were talking about it, but you just can't fish these flat fall style jigs for these big fish without fluorocarbon, without big fluorocarbon. So Blue Label is probably the best product for that. It's the most abrasion resistant, a little stiffer, a little bigger in diameter, but tougher than nails. And, a lot of these fish get hooked not in the corner of the mouth on these jigs. So I still have Blue Label in the arsenal of products to fish on this trip.
Sure. Now, Mike, you basically can use anything you want at Turner's Outdoorsman. What's your kind of go-to stuff?
Kind of like Dale, I fish Premier if I'm fishing bait, Blue Label for all my jig fishing. If I'm sea bass fishing, I use Blue Label just because of the abrasion resistance when they start shaking their heads, and for kelp cutter rigs and just pulling really hard, and all my swim baits and stuff I fish Blue Label.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you do a lot of bass fishing.
Yeah. And and it's like we were just talking about Cedros earlier today, and it's like down there it's like I can pretty much use one 60-pound Blue Label leader all day. And that's the nice part about it. I mean, you end up cutting it down,
right?
Hit, and when it gets too short, you tie in a new one. But
because of the abrasion resistance,
abrasion resistance, those calicos down there have the craziest teeth on calicos I've ever seen.
Mike's better speaking on this than any of us, being tournament bass guy and doing all that. But that's the thing is, you don't necessarily need a piece of 60-pound to land a calico bass. The difference is you don't know when you're going to hook your 9-pounder, if it's going to be after your second bite of a fresh piece of line or the 102nd bite after a full, gnarly, long day of fishing. And if you were fishing a piece of 20-pound that you'd released 30 bass on the same leader and it got nicked up and kelped up and everything like that, then all of a sudden you don't have near the strength that you do in that piece of 60. And it gives you assurance all day long that when you do get the bite that you're really waiting for, you've got,
good point.
It's coming home.
Good point. Hey, let's go live on the water right now. Captain Scott Mizell on the Condor is on the line. Good morning, Scott.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hey, great. Give us some good news.
Hey, that yellowfin tuna seems to be filtering in pretty good in that 1 day and a half range. We had some pretty good opportunities. We ended up catching 34 of them things yesterday.
Right.
Awesome.
Oh, Scott, that's awesome.
Great. Is it good grade, Scott?
There's a mix. There's that 12-pound fish and there's some 20-pound fish around. We saw some spots of bluefin that we haven't seen down there in a while. We managed one of those. And, of course, that yellowtail fishing is just redundantly ridiculous. It is so good, it's unbelievable.
And a lot of big fish, right, Scott?
Yeah, the crazy thing was is we had our limits, which we have to honor every trip. Everybody, please remember that. And then we stopped on a couple kelps that were straight 20 to 25 pounders, and we were cutting them off because we couldn't keep any more.
Man, wow, I guess that's a good problem, right?
That's a good problem. Yeah, you'd like to think that you could time that better, but that's just fishing. We actually, on a spotted dolphin, had a triple jig strike on 24 and 25 pounders. It's the craziest thing I ever seen.
Yellowtail?
Yellowtail.
Come on.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'm serious. I wasn't on the blue label at all.
Wow. That's awesome. So what's going on with the Condor? Are you going to be running trips out of Fisherman's Landing?
Yeah, we got a full schedule. We got overnight trip tonight. We got day-and-a-half trips coming. We got 2.5 days. Don't forget that Dorado fishing is still around. We had 25 of them things yesterday also.
God, what a trip.
We pulled on fish from daylight till dark. It was really fun.
Oh, and beautiful weather, too. That's the other thing, too. August, September, October, this is the time to fish in San Diego and Southern California, man. This is our game right now. So, Scott.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So somebody wants to come fishing on the Condor. How do we do it?
619-221-8500. Ask the guys at the landing or fishermanslanding.com. Book the 90-foot Condor, and we will put you on them.
Oh, yeah. Scott. No doubt about it. Great job, Scott. Keep getting him on the Condor, and look forward to a next check. Appreciate the call this morning.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
That is awesome.
How about that, huh?
That yellowfin is just icing on the cake. I mean, that Dorado and yellowtail kelp patty fishing that we've been having has been really fun for exactly that. There's numbers, there's game, you know you're going to catch, but having that influx of tuna, that's some pretty serious icing on the cake there.
Okay, that gets you guys excited going on a 5-day?
Absolutely.
Yeah, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, and the thing about going on a 5-day is you guys have options. You could go down in that 1-day, day-and-a-half range, spend a couple days down there, and then go up and try and catch a trophy bluefin too. I mean, there's or go down further, and maybe there's another school of bigger tuna down there. Who knows?
Yeah, I've always told everybody, I look forward to this trip every year. It's a 5-day in August. It's the right time to be down fishing those boats. And every trip I've done, and I've been doing this, I think this is my 6th or 7th year in a row doing the 5-day, the same time of year, and it's like every trip's different. You know, we've had it where it's been, you know, ridiculous offshore bite where we sat offshore catching bluefin and yellowfin for 4 days. I've had it where it's been wide open yellowtail, you know, fishing. And you've had a mix. I've seen, you know, triple-digit bluefin hit the deck as well on these trips. So
cool.
I know you've seen it at the tackle shop, Ricky, and probably you too, Mike, at your stores. People buying California fishing licenses to go on a 5 or a 3-day or a multi-7-day trip, right?
Yeah,
you don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely been a different year this year, and I mean, there's still been plenty of opportunity. I mean, we've all been a little spoiled the last couple of years. But, yeah, I mean, the options are pretty crazy. You can, especially on a multi-day trip, you know, do a 2-day, 2.5 day, and you could go down and get your limits of yellowtail and Dorado and pick up some yellowfin and then go up and catch a 200-pound bluefin.
It's crazy right now. A guy could walk into Turner's Outdoorsman and say, I'm going on a day-and-a-half trip. You know, what do I need? And man, it's a tough call. You know, you got to know, you know, if you're on a charter, it maybe helps a little bit, but some of it's tough because if you're going out to the west, you know, you need 60 and 80 pound and 130 pound leaders and big flat falls and giant hooks. And if you're going to the south, you know, you need 25 and 30 pound fluoro, you need 2-0s, you need, you know, your poppers, you know, clearly there's yellowfin now, Colt snipers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's some serious options right now.
Yeah, how many rods and reels you guys bring?
Oh, you can't ask a guy. That's not cool. I mean,
I have 10.
That's conservative.
It's not easy, but
well, no,
I got more than that.
I got more than that.
I got more than that.
Good answer.
I learned that. People always ask you that when you go on your, and I know, trust me, I know nobody knows this more than Dale when you go on your long range trip. How much gear did you bring? How many rods and reels did you bring? I never answer. I always wait for them to answer, and then I always say one less than that. And
right. One less.
Yeah, it's too many. But you know, how many rods did you bring? Oh, I'm not sure. How many did you bring? I brought 13. Like, I brought 12. You know, like, and then the next guy will say, how many bring? I brought 9. I brought 8. You know, I never answer. I always just say one less than the guy that's asking me.
The nice thing about going on a big boat like the Red Rooster, man, they have room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the question I have for you, Can you fill a cart with what you brought?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, I can definitely do that.
And when you start in terms, what do you got? You had a half cart, you 3/4, you a cart, you cart and a half, you got a cart and a half.
Well,
what's going on?
I got goodies that we give away on the trip. It's a Seaguar sponsored trip with some of my other factories. So there's some swag involved for the guys.
Sweet.
So when you take in consideration, then I got a couple buddies driving down from San Luis Obispo to meet us this afternoon that are fishing. So I'm providing gear for those guys.
Oh,
too.
nice.
So,
You're full cart.
Yeah, I'm a full cart, but
yeah, but it's not just for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For sure. So we were talking about Turner's. How many stores now? Man,
right?
It seems like every time you're on, the locations grow.
Well, we're still at 19. So we're at 19, but we are set to. We're looking at opening 3 stores this year.
Wow!
Before the end of the year.
Before the end of 2017.
Before the end of 2017, we're kind of getting out of our comfort zone here, and we are going to be going north.
Oh.
So I know I listened to your show on the way up to Clear Lake, so I know this goes way up there.
Oh, yeah.
But Northern California, here we come. Salinas, California will be our first Northern California store, with San Carlos opening shortly thereafter. And then our third store will actually be the high desert Palmdale area.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
Where is San Carlos?
Great news.
San Carlos is on the peninsula, like halfway up.
It's almost by San Mateo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
San Mateo would be the.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's
exciting.
And a lot of fishermen up there.
A lot of fishermen up there, and it's pretty. It's always interesting. Yeah, plenty of hunting. I went on a 6-day on the Indy earlier this year, and I was, it's pretty surprising how many guys from Northern California come down every summer and go on these trips, and the long range guys and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and how nice for those guys that you get the advantage you get in every Turner's Outdoorsman, whether you're one that's right on the coast or in the high desert. The guys that fish that way, fluorocarbon and big reels and line and things that those guys have to deal with mail order and things like that, and now you get to actually put the reels in your hand. And I'll say it right now. I mean, I see so many guys come in to our shop with problems. Oh, I bought this reel online, or I bought this problem or that problem. And when you buy a reel at a Turner's Outdoorsman, you've got a store that you get to walk back into and say, hey, this happened, or you know what, man, I got this thing. It's not the right size. I screwed up. I need a bigger reel. These bluefin are a lot bigger than I thought. This thing doesn't hold nearly enough line. And now those guys that didn't have that option are going to have a Turner's they can walk right into and be able to deal with everything.
And they'll all be fishing, hunting, shooting sports, the whole deal.
That's awesome.
Full line.
Full line. Big store. Salinas will be 9,000 square feet.
Ooh, jeez.
Carlos, I think, is going to be right around 7 or 8. So
my goodness,
that's cool.
They're big stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the average size Turner's Outdoorsman?
Right now, it's about 6,000.
Yeah.
So
9,000 going to be your largest?
That will be our largest store.
Wow.
I mean, it's a very different market up there. So
sure.
I mean, there's a lot of other things that we don't catch down here that they do.
Sure.
Striper fishing, on the coast and in the bay, and sturgeon and
Sierra trout.
They got all kinds of stuff. Kokanee fishing, and
that's cool.
So
kokanee, they have kokanee up there
in the area.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
Kokanee's big.
It's a big deal.
Really.
Yeah, the kokanee guys spend a tremendous amount of money on gear. It's starting with the boat. Yeah, the boat, electronics, the whole 9 yards to catch landlocked salmon.
Yeah.
Small landlocked salmon.
Really?
No, it's crazy. Those guys are really diehards. Like, it's amazing.
So you, Dale, as the guy that taught me how to fly fish, I learned this up at Katmai from our guide Jeff Top. A kokanee is a landlocked sockeye. Is that true?
Kokanee is a landlocked sockeye. Yes.
Because he fishes in the he fishes in the Great Lakes.
Right.
He fishes in Michigan, and they have kokanee salmon.
Right. Yeah. So it's a landlocked. Yeah. So basically, it's a
landlocked red.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't grow very big. I mean,
but I guess delicious.
Yeah, super delicious.
Yeah.
The guys love to catch them.
That's pretty cool.
Their boats are tremendous. Go to one of the boat shows in Northern California and see how much a top-end kokanee boat makes a bass boat look cheap.
So they have kokanee people.
Yeah.
So what's a kokanee boat consist of?
It's just ridiculous.
A lot of downriggers.
And a lot of electronics. Yeah.
That's funny.
But that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. No, they take it serious.
Oh yeah.
Right, good for them.
Yeah.
Big
that's
fish.
awesome.
I had no idea there were I thought that was a Midwest thing.
No.
Or an Oregon thing, but they have them in Northern California.
Send it.
See, you're learning. You're gonna have to go up there and learn to fish them, huh?
Yeah, it's a new challenge.
Yeah.
And actually, the week after this trip, I'm going up there to take a tour of Northern California. So
yeah. So and the interesting thing too is that kokanee actually spawn like they live like the lake is their ocean. This is what Jeff was teaching me up at Katmai. The lake is like their ocean, but they go up the rivers and spawn just like salmon do in. But I'm not sure. Do they die, or are they more like steelhead?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I wish I had the answer to that.
Yeah.
Somebody probably knows.
So they go up the river, they spawn,
I don't know. They come
feed,
back into
they,
the river.
They feed obviously in the lake, and then they go back up do their deal.
Yeah.
Huh. There you go.
It's kokanee, salmon, right?
I'm just glad we have bluefin to keep us.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, that kokanee sounds cool and everything. Don't get me wrong.
It's just interesting to me. It's like, wow, I had no idea that they actually have like kokanee boats.
Yeah. Or I'm just saying the guys consider themselves kokanee fishermen.
Yeah, that's what they target.
That's what
that's
they
their
do.
Deal.
Right? Yeah, they probably target trout, and as well, but kokanee's the game.
The big game, yeah. Well, as you can hear, we have a lot of knowledge in this studio here today. You even have fly fishing questions. You can ask Dale because he's a fly fishing expert, shall we say, or former fly fishing?
No, still am.
Current still am. Yeah, he taught me how to fly fish.
That's cool. Yeah, you're not kidding, man. I mean, you want to talk about two guys that are in the know. This is going to be a great show and a great opportunity and so much to talk about this morning. If you want to get through, be a part of Let's Talk Hookup, there's two ways that you can do that. First is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local number. Or get us toll-free. That toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. And boy, Pete was not kidding when he teased at the beginning of the show. You want to talk about two killer prizes at the end of the show today. First off, one lucky caller is going to get a $50 gift card to Turner's Outdoorsman, any of the 19 locations, a $50 gift card. And with that is a 50-yard spool of Seaguar Premier. Not a standard 25, but a 50-yarder. A second lucky caller is also going to win a $50 gift card to any Turner's Outdoorsman and a 30 and 40-pound 50-yard spool of Seaguar Premier. So unbelievable prizes, two great prize packs. Again, if you want to get your shot to get through those great prizes, or much better yet, your chance to talk to Dale or Mike, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great information coming your way. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels. With the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities, Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
It's time for our Power Pro 30-second seminar. And I tell you what, with Power Pro, what I like about it is the knot strength. You tie a knot with Power Pro, whether it be a John Collins knot, an Albright knot, back-to-back uni, they hold and work with Power Pro.
Yeah, the line is just not stiff. It's the perfect amount of round. It has good abrasion resistance, and it's just easier for connections than other types of line out there.
Indeed. Power Pro at your favorite tackle store, or check out PowerPro.com. Hey, when you get to go fishing, maybe you'll catch some fresh fish.
Maybe.
But you can go catch fresh fish anytime right next to the San Diego Landing in Point Loma at Point Loma Seafood.
They always say it's the freshest thing in town, and there's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, being there, we eat there a couple days a week. I was there yesterday, and that case looked amazing. Killer swordfish. Obviously, all this local tuna's around. The tuna looked amazing. There's
bluefin tuna.
So much. Well, they had bluefin and yellowfin in that case yesterday. It looked so good.
Yeah. Lots of great stuff. Yellowtail, northern halibut, Alaskan halibut, and more. Alaskan king salmon, all the good stuff is in there.
Crab.
Dungeness crab. They've got it all. Point Loma Seafood. And then you want to take some home, eat lunch right there with the view of San Diego Bay and the city of San Diego. Oh, man. Are you still on the taco thing?
So I'm about that shrimp tacos. They got so many killer craft beers. If you want to go down there before your trip, get yourself a squid sandwich, go up top with a nice killer beer, watch overlooking the whole harbor of San Diego. You can watch Dale load up to go on his 5-day.
There you go.
It's a spot.
There it is. Point Loma Seafood's right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma.
What a tuna and yellowtail season last year. Many say the best in 30 years. Could this season be even better? Don't be caught without the right gear. Now is the time to stock up on the trolling lure that proved to be the best. X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Every X-Rap Magnum runs perfect right out of the box. They all have extreme action and a controlled deep diving aggressive swimming motion. The large diving lip partners with premium VMC hooks and an irresistible rattle. The X-Rap Magnum by Rapala can be trolled at high speeds without rolling or kicking out at depths to 15 feet. Bottom line, the X-Rap Magnum is the ultimate trolling lure for Southern California and Baja saltwater fishing. With a textured translucent body, internal holographic foil, and 3D holographic eye, X-Rap Magnums are irresistible to saltwater game fish. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. No matter what you choose, the fish can't resist X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Ask your local tackle dealer which is the hottest color and size and start catching more fish. See the entire line at Rapala.com.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. But I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, let's go live on the tribute. Captain Mike Pritchard's on the line. What's up, Mike?
Hey, good morning, gang. How's your Sunday going?
Hey, fantastic, man. We heard some good news about some biting yellowfin.
You know, not only biting yellowfin, but we saw some really, really, really good sign of Dorado yesterday afternoon. We had really good Dorado fishing to go with it. And we did. We managed 28 yellowfin for our 18 guys, all within easy one-day range. But yesterday afternoon, myself and John on the Islander were kind of rolling up through an area, and it looked like somebody turned on a faucet and opened up. The Dorado came out of nowhere. I mean, there's Dorado on almost every kelp. Very, very good sign of Dorado, and I really just came out of nowhere. So I think you're going to see some pretty interesting counts coming up here in the in the near future, if not today.
You know, Mike, we talk about it all the time. You know, that it's like the cliche thing to say when you flip the light switch on, but that's exactly what happened. In 2 days' time, you're hearing this wide open yellow, Dorado on every kelp. There's yellowfin around, the bluefin still biting them. It's all happening right now.
You know what it is? I mean, we had a pretty good sign of yellowfin yesterday. Very good yellowtail fishing for the last couple of weeks. And now it seemed like almost every kelp we went by yesterday afternoon had Dorado on it. Some mixed grades, some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger. But, you know, Rick, you and I had talked about it a couple of weeks ago when I was on the show. It's not that it's coming up from down the line, or it really seems like it just shows up, whether it comes up out of deep water, comes out of the west. But an area that there's been a lot of boat traffic through and not a whole lot of Dorado seen. Yesterday afternoon, there was jumping Dorado, open spots of Dorado, open water spots, and pretty excited about this coming week.
Man,
awesome.
That's so cool, Mike.
Yeah, it's a game changer. You know, that big swell, all those things it's pushing stuff up. Would you say that, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of kelp around, small kelps, big kelps. We just down there outside Ensenada yesterday, it seemed like almost every little kelp we went by had something on it, whether it was yellowtail, Dorado. I mean, it's just it looks like summer started.
All right. Flip that switch. Let's game on. Hey, if somebody wants to ride on the tribute out of C4 Sport Fishing, how do we do that?
Give Seaforth Landing a call at 619-224-3383 or seaforthlanding.com. You can also book through tributesportfishing.com.
All right. Jump on
we will be doing one-day trips here throughout the week. I think tonight's sold out, but there's room as far as I know. Like I said, we're on the second day of a 2-day here, but I think there's room throughout the week. Easy reach on one-day trips, and really, really good. I mean, yesterday was just fantastic fishing.
Wow.
So cool.
Gotta love it, man. Good weather, good fishing. Thanks, Mike. Tribute Sport Fishing. out of C4 Sport Fishing. Appreciate the report, and thanks for checking in with us. Hey, let's go to our good buddy Jeff Mariani from Cedros Kayak Fishing, Cedros Tackle on Cedros Island. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Pete, Rick, guest. How you guys doing?
Terrific. You just came back from our Let's Talk Hookup Fast Lane Kayak Cedros Kayak Fishing trip. How was it?
As Mike on the Tribute just said, the fish switch was absolutely activated down there as well. Wide open yellows, literally 100 yards out from the marina. We fished 3 days just right in front of the marina, launching from the beaches on each side of the marina. Just absolutely going Richter down there. Super, super fun. Everyone into the fish. We had a full load this time, all beds full at the house, 6 guys, and just really, really phenomenal fishing. Had a couple beginners on the trip that absolutely smashed the yellows too. Just unbelievable. I mean, 10 minutes in on our first day, we fished Monday when we first got there. 10 minutes in, we had to fish over 40 pounds.
Oh,
right out of the
come
gate.
on.
So,
on the kayak.
All on the kayak. We fished the kayaks for, we actually had a bonus day on this trip. The airlines needed a little help and asked us to fly home on Saturday instead of Friday.
Oh, darn.
We got, oh, darn is right. We had one extra day of fishing, which opened it up for us. You know, we stayed around the marina with all the other boats, you know, for the first few days. And then Friday we decided to go way up by Punta Norte. Absolutely no difference up there. The amount of bait, incredible. The sardine load that's over there. Boiling yellows, you know, just super fun. SP minnow. Everyone out there needs to know the SP minnow is a bait that works great.
Okay.
Calico bass, yellows, you know, Ron Lane was just absolutely in fuego on this trip with the SP minnow. He had a 5-fish limit our first day before noon. So it just was really, really a great time. Super warm weather on the island. Water was 77 on the front side. And just fish everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
And such a great adventure because you take the kayaks with you. No matter, you can put it on the trailer, you can put it on the boat, you can fish from the boat, you can fish from the kayak. It's such a great treat. And small groups at your beautiful home there up on the hill at Cedros Island. You know, now I want to go. That's all I can tell you, Jeff. How do we get on? Are there any trips still with spots available?
So this year. No, unfortunately, we're like every trip is sold. I've had a few guys call in. I was able to sneak a couple extra guys on a couple of my trips and you know, fill all the rooms again. But yeah, you kind of want to start making your plans for next year. I'm working really hard with Al and Rosie too over at Cedros Sport Fishing, and we're going to be flying out of Tijuana with them also. So
wow.
Just, you know, great things happening overall for the island. Lots of good changes and. I think next year is going to be great for everyone, just to come down and, you know, have a little bit easier of an experience. You know, Al worked really hard on getting that plane done, and it's already happening. They took a couple trips last week, so I'm going to be flying down with them. I got a couple guys coming down. We have the Warbaits tour coming down Friday, and then that Monday I've got more guys coming in. That'll be my first flight with Al and Rosie coming out of Tijuana. So just really, really great things. Lots of changes going on the island. You know, just it's unbelievable the weather down there. I mean, it's just shocking. The guys had so much fun. Just really, really phenomenal fishing. I know the fishing's going good up here. We were watching our Instagrams and stuff down there because we have great internet at the house, and just it's amazing what's going on over here in Southern California and Baja. There's so much great fishing.
Well, if somebody wants to book a trip for next year. You probably want to get on the list. I know we'll be hosting a couple of Let's Talk Hookup trips with you, certainly. How do we get a hold of you?
You can give me a call, 760-412-2507. You can check out our website, Cedros Kayak Fishing. You could plug in Cedros Tackle if you want. It all links right back to the same, to our homepage. You can email me, Jeff at CedrosKayakFishing.com. Just a number of different ways to go about it. So, yeah, feel free. You know, everyone that's come down so far this year has already taken spots for next year. So it's just unbelievable. You know, we're a little different than everyone else. You know, we're pretty much 60 to 100 guys per year. You know, three to four guys at a time. You know, so a lot more exclusive. Not many spots available. You know what I mean? So it's really unique to be down there on those Hobies. Just incredible boats with that 180 reverse drive. Just everything's retuned up. I had Ron and Hayden down there. They went through every single boat, checked every single thing. So we're functioning at high levels right now. So
That's
it's really,
awesome.
really a great time.
Jeff, CedrosKayakFishing.com. Of course, you can go down to Fastlane in Mission Bay and probably talk to Ron and Hayden, and they'd chew your ear off about the trip.
They're going to let you know what's going on, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jeff. Jeff Mariani from Cedros Tackle, Cedros Kayak Fishing. Sure appreciate it. And don't forget, if you're going on a trip down to Cedros, don't forget the tackle store. If you forget something,
Absolutely.
you need something, tackle store's got what you need. I was down there, and I had to buy some stuff because I brought the wrong stuff.
You better get another load of SP minnows there, Jeff.
Yeah, SP minnows and Rapalas. In the past month, I'll just throw this in real quick, over 100 Rapalas I've sold in the past month.
Rapalas are hot. Yeah, for sure.
It's hot down there right now. So
Yeah.
thanks again.
Hey, Jeff.
Super appreciate it.
Appreciate the call this morning. Glad it was such a success. Let's shift gears and head further south down to Rancho Leonero. Talk to our buddy John Ireland. Buenos dias, John.
Good morning, Pete. Hello, Rick. Yes.
What's up, John?
Morning.
Well, it's the fishing continues. We've got pretty darn good fishing. It's interesting. I know you have the fluorocarbon guys in now. A little story to tell you. My guys, my fishermen, are little slow takers, and when we first brought down fluorocarbon, they refused to fish with it. They just weren't going to have it if it was new. Now, they won't fish without it. They are literally, the guys will not fish without fluorocarbon now. So they changed over. So it obviously works. What I really wanted to talk about was, I've been watching this year, and I think all the fishing, we've had some phenomenal fishing all year long, has been within 15 miles of the hotel. Most of it south, and most of it around the outside of Pomo Park. And I honestly believe that a big part of the good fishing that we're experiencing, especially with the yellowfin, is the tuna coming out of the park now. The park is really starting to hold the fish and produce them, and really starting to benefit the area, the fishing. We've never had consistent tuna fishing like we've had this year. We have, but not as consistently. They come in on the schools, they're underneath the schools of porpoise, and the problem is the seiners come and wrap them. These fish now that are coming out of the park are spread, and they're not concentrated, and they're not commercial fishable. And consequently, they've been around and around a lot. Like the fish we've caught this year, the largest was 70 pounds, but lots of 30, 40 pounders. Limits for almost all anglers all week long. And they're individual fish. They're not really tight schooling yellowfin. But I thought I might mention, I think the Dorado, too, I think are starting to come out of that park. The park is big, It's good size, and it's obviously been breeding and holding fish, and I honestly believe that's one of the reasons we're enjoying such good fishing. Anyway, getting back to the fishing, the Dorado fishing picked up towards the end of this week. It was a little slow at the beginning of the week. The marlin fishing has been off the board. East Cape Bisbee starts this coming Wednesday, and I expect a big blue this year. I expect a repeat of the Dorado shootout, where they get a real good size blue marlin. I would hope for 500 plus, because there are a lot of them out there. All the guys have been. We had one too bad came in. It was about 550. They came up dead, but there's been a lot of fish released over 300 pounds, a lot of blues. So that's real good. Let's see what else is going on. A few wahoo, 1 or 2 per day. Gobs of football, yellowfin footballs are just everywhere. Just lots and lots of them. Of course, there's a lot of striped marlin mixed in, a few sailfish, but the gobs of billfish. I mean, just right off that point, everything's within 15 miles, right off the hump, off of La Rivera. Just holding the billfish, and also outside the park, on the outside of the park, more south of the park, just outside that line, about 7 miles off the beach. Just loads and loads of billfish in there, and like I say, tuna around, good Dorado bite, few wahoo, and by the way, the rooster fish, it continues. Those big
giant roosters. Wow,
yeah.
So awesome.
I mean, it's unreal.
Such great
fishing.
fishing.
Same spot, right off the lighthouse there, right off that first drop off. They're picking off 50, 60, 70 pounders every day.
Fantastic. Well, if somebody wants to come down to Rancho Leonero, it's a great time to come now through the fall. How do we get a hold of you, John?
Thanks, Pete. It's 800-646-2252 or rancholaneero.com. And we've got a lot of photos of these fish on the website.
Fantastic. And I might add, too, it's not too early to start booking for prime dates next spring and fall, like next spring and summer, like our Let's Talk Hookup trip in June. It already is filling up. So if you want to come with us, jump on that.
That's for sure. And, we are filling up this year as well. The word's out. The fishing's pretty good. Lots of bookings. Still have room, across for the next few months. But call because we really are getting lots of resis.
Yeah, and lots of airline flights getting down there. That new Alaska Airlines 7 a.m. flight out of San Diego, really easy deal.
Yeah, they have one that goes out. I don't know, it's once or twice a week. It's 6 at night too, so you get a full day.
Full day. You can go down for 2 days. Go down at 7 a.m. Fish full day the next day, and go home.
Yeah, two-day trip.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, thanks, John. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
You sure will. Thanks, guys.
All right, very good.
All right, let's jump right back into the phones. They're packed up. We're going to start off with Matt, calling us from La Mesa this morning. Good morning, Matt. Thanks for joining us here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Sorry, guys. I had to wipe my cell phone off there. I was drooling over it in regards to all those fishing reports.
Oh, you gotta
hey,
love
Dale. I got a trip coming up here, and I need to restock my fluorocarbon. As far as the colors go, what's the best option as far as the blue label, red label, pink label?
Well, I would tell anybody if you're going out, you got to have Fluoro Premier. Period. It's the smallest diameter, softest. If we're talking live bait presentation, I fish it on everything from an overnight trip to 16-day trips as well. So you have to have Fluoro Premier for live bait fishing. Period. Any of your jig fish, I definitely like the blue label, like we talked earlier, for the heavier stuff when you're outside of live bait fishing. And I still have pink label as kind of my backup to backup. I mean, there's times that, and Pete will attest to this, I know Rick and Mike will too, there's just times that you can't get bit. And I think you got to change it up. You got to do something different. So for me, it's always pink label. Pink, quote, is the first color that disappears in the water column. Do I think it matters in fluorocarbon? No. But I think it matters in your head that you're trying something extra special. So,
what's your thought on pink, Mike?
I used to be, you look back at the albacore years, and there were from 97 to 2007.
Sure.
I mean, I was on trips where it was like, I was fishing pink, and it was like completely 100% getting bit way better than anything else. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like Dale was saying, it doesn't hurt to have it.
Sure.
Just certain conditions, a lot of times when it's like super clear water, high sky, it's just super bright out, and pink will just get better. It's, bluefin, notorious pink line, light line fishing.
Sure.
But,
you talk about how important abrasion resistance is, and these bluefin are just, we talk about all the time on the show, they're so notorious, especially at the end game, shaking their heads, flaring their gill plates, raking your leader, when you're on your flat fall across their teeth. Is there a better abrasion-resistant line between the blue and the pink?
Blue's it. Period.
Okay, blue's it. Period. If
you want max abrasion resistance, bar none, blue label. So I tell people when I fish my 16, I'm fishing blue label at night. I'm fishing it with big baits. It's a harder material. It's bigger in diameter, which gets you more abrasion resistant, and it just flat out is the most abrasion resistant fluorocarbon. So if that's your number one game, that's the go-to.
So on like you're saying, on something like a flat fall where it doesn't really matter how soft and supple it is, because there's a 250 gram lure pulling it down. Like you don't need it to be your bait to be able to swim perfect.
Nope.
You're putting blue label on that thing.
Blue label, absolutely. Kite outfit, blue label for leader material. Fishing at night, I'm going to fish the big, jigs for yellowfin, PL68, or big baits at, in gray light. Yeah, the only time I really feel that you have to have the advantage of Fluoro Premier, which is most of our fishing, is daytime fishing with live bait. Sardines. So that is, I think, a huge advantage. And pink label probably performs a little more like Premier. It's softer than blue label. So once again,
between the two a little bit.
Exactly. So, but blue label is absolutely a must right now in your arsenal if you're going out on a one-day trip or anything but beyond that.
Very good. Hey, thanks a lot for getting us started. Appreciate the call this morning.
All right, let's jump right back into them. This time we're going to talk to Ed, calling us from Mira Mesa. Hi, Ed. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Ed.
Guys, hey, my question was pretty much answered before, but I do a lot of calico bass fishing, and I'm wondering, the size of the line, and also I guess the blue label would be the best for the jigs, and also I don't know, would I use the pink for live bait? And then also I have another question here too, is for a 50-pound fluorocarbon line to braid and that, what is the John Collins knot? Would that be okay for that?
A couple of great questions.
I'll defer on the knot. I'll let Mike defer on the calico fishing. So, yeah, the John Collins knot's perfect. Absolutely. That's what I'll be tying for the next 5 days. End of story. 50-pound, easy.
Yeah, such an easy knot.
Yep, absolutely. You can't go wrong with
Fast.
it. So for the calico stuff, I'll defer to Mike.
Yeah, even on the calico fishing, fishing short leaders for bass fishing, I tie John Collins. I've never had any issues. The pop at the end is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
For cinching it down. If you don't do that, I didn't used to do the pop, and I just cast off my leader. I'm like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah. It just doesn't cinch it down right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Blue Label is what I use for all my calico fishing. I very rarely, if I'm fishing like light line, that'd be 30-pound leader.
30 is light.
Fishing like shallow reefs and stuff like that, I'll fish 30 if the fish are a little finicky. But if I'm fishing calicos in the kelp or the boilers, 60-pound is all I fish. And then on the slug, I don't know what it is about fishing Corey's slug, but that 80 to 80 is really important. 80-pound. I don't know if it's just the impact from the hook set or what, but I thought you don't
60 isn't enough.
60 is fine, and then you break off a couple fish, and you're like, how did I break off?
How did that happen on a calico bass, right?
So like certain, there are times it's like 80-pound is the way to go.
Yeah.
But day in, day out, your norm, fishing a weedless swim bait, catching a calico bass,
60-pound Blue Label.
How long of a piece do you like, Mike?
About 2.5 feet.
Okay. Something that's real comfortable to cast with the knot outside the guides.
Exactly.
But long enough you could cut it and retie it a time or two.
And and the benefit, too, when you're fishing boilers especially, braid doesn't hold up on barnacles and mussel very well. So, just having that little abrasion resistance, from that Blue Label really pays off.
That's cool.
Very good tips. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We got catch reports, we got questions, and we got a whole lot more from these two guys right here. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Have you ever felt so excited about a new hobby that you can't stop telling your friends about it? Ron Lane and his family at Fast Lane Sailing and Kayaking have been doing that for 38 years. So, Ron, tell us about what you do at Fast Lane Kayaks and Sailing.
That's easy, Pete. You get the best toys, you go play with them, you get excited about it, and then they're easy to sell because it's fun.
And that's what you sell, isn't it, Ron? It's all about fun.
Oh, it is. It's family fun.
Hey, Hayden, how has Hobie changed the sport?
Hobie's revolutionized a lot of water sports, from surfing to sailing catamarans to kayaks and now kayak fishing. Yeah, Hobie's known from taking something that's fun and making it better. And I want to tell you about the new product we are most excited about, the inflatable Hobie i11 kayak. It has all the advantages of a Hobie Mirage kayak, the comfort, the speed, the stability, but now can pack into a bag and take with you wherever you want to go. Come try one at our shop on the water in Mission Bay, across the street from SeaWorld in Dana Landing, or check us out online at FastLaneKayaking.com.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
When bad weather and rough seas send other boats back to the docks, Seakeeper allows you to fish longer and fish harder, even in the roughest conditions. Don't believe us? Just listen to what Southern California's own Captain Pete Grosbeck says. He says, we're very impressed with the whole operation of the Seakeeper. We live bait a lot. We go slow, which puts us in the trough. And now basically there is no trough. Seakeeper's newest offering, the Seakeeper 3, is optimized is to eliminate up to 95% of boat roll on boats between 30 and 39 feet. Even better, the gyro is so small it can fit inside a customized leaning post, bringing installation down to a mere 2 days. To learn more about how Seakeeper can change your life on the water and to schedule your free demo, go to Seakeeper.com. Take a ride. Be amazed. Seakeeper.
The bluefin are abundant this year, but getting them to bite is another story. But if you're willing to chase them, there's an opportunity to land the catch of a lifetime. Now, getting the deal of a lifetime on a new Ford is much less effort because the gigantic summer sales event is going on now at your San Diego County Ford dealer. Choose from a great selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs and save big on interest charges with 0 APR long-term financing. On top of that, your Ford dealer will give you an additional bonus for your qualified trade. This special offer is available to anyone who gets approved through Ford Motor Credit. You'll also find great deals on new Ford Super Duty, Motor Trend Magazine's 2017 Truck of the Year. So why chase deals all over town when you can land the deal of a lifetime on the new Ford, car, truck, or SUV you've always wanted during the Ford Summer Sales Event? Stop by any San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. All right, it's time to find out what's biting out there. As promised, it's time for the Catch Report, which today is sponsored by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. You want to talk about some busy guys. With all this fish coming in, Fisherman's Processing is definitely going to be on the ropes. They're the absolute finest in San Diego, and that's why they're known as the Fish Pros. And once you try them, you'll be hooked. They'll fillet and vacuum pack your fish, all to your specs, as well as offer you the best in smoked fish, jerky, and their famous tuna burgers. Check fishermansprocessing.com for more details, or you can see them when your trip returns to the San Diego landings. Let's head on up to Angoon, Alaska, to Whalers Cove Lodge, and talk to our good buddy John, is on the line. And, John, we're just a couple weeks away from coming seeing you. Can't wait to find out what's biting at Whalers.
Well, lots of fish are biting, and first off, we had somebody that was one of your listeners here. They just left yesterday. They had a great time, but they came here because they heard all about it on your radio program. So it's really cool that Chris and his family were able to come up here and enjoy some great coho fishing. In fact, the last 5 days, almost every boat is limited on coho. Nice. Yesterday, I had a 9 and 11-year-old on my boat, and those two kids, I call them the coho kids, they were almost expert-like at landing these fish. They were 10-pounders. Their dad got a 15-pound coho. Wow. It's just been off the hook, and we're getting our limit of 24 and anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. It's just phenomenal, and they're pretty much everywhere we go. So it's really, really a good coho season this year. And the halibut continue to bite. We're getting 100-pounders, and that's just been really, really fun as well. It's just crazy up here. So last year the coho fishing wasn't as good. This year is just off the hook, mooching, jigging. We even had a couple of guys catch big coho on the 7.5-inch fat squid that they were using for their halibut. Bringing it up, and these coho hitting these giant lures with 16-aught circle hooks, and they're getting them. I mean, it's just crazy how many fish are around.
Wow. That's so awesome. Will you make them stick around for a couple more weeks for Rick and myself?
Well, they should. But it's fun because, you know, you can use many different techniques and lures. They're pretty much biting everything. You know, I think if I put a hook on a spoon and, you know, a regular eating spoon at the dinner table, they would bite it. It's just that crazy. And it's not always like that, but this year it seems to be that way.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love that. When we're trolling around, throwing the spoons and stuff like that, that's so much fun.
Yeah, we don't have to worry so much about, they're only biting this one lure or this one lure. You know, drop it down, you're going to get bit. Yeah, some get bit more than the others, but everything is getting bit. Yesterday, my surface lines were going off. My downriggers were going off. I had 7 fish on the deck before I could even put them in the fish box because they just kept coming. I kept dropping the line down. I didn't have time to put the fish away.
I know.
That's
so
great
awesome.
fishing.
I know, Pete, you talked about in the past, and even one of the guys, you know, one of John's colleagues there running the boat stopped me and said, hey, you know, Pete always fishes with this thing, and it was that smallest size flat fall, that pink and blue and silver. Said it was just an every drop, and that's like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
When downrigger goes off to drop the flat fall
do a
back on
little
the
drop
slide
back,
like we
yeah.
were fishing albacore.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. Take those small flat falls.
Yeah,
with you.
I can't wait.
Hey, John, with this much coho around, that stuff's going to get in the river, and so the river fishermen are probably going to have a gonzo time when we're up there in a couple of weeks, huh?
Oh, yeah. With people to Hasselberg or some of the other freshwater systems, there's going to be a lot of coho. There are really good Dolly Varden, cutthroat, up to 18, 20 inches, which is just phenomenal. And, of course, you got the occasional. Water fishing should be a great experience. If you're coming up, why not try a day of freshwater? It can be just a tremendous experience. You might see deer, you see park area. You know, Alaska is more than just being on the saltwater. It's viewing bears. It's looking at the scenery. It's whale watching. It's fishing. You know, we've got it all right here.
Yeah, WhalersCoveLodge.com. John, fantastic report. Can't wait to see you. But we'll get one more report before we're going to come and visit you next Sunday. Look forward to that. Again, I know there may be a couple spots left at Whalers Cove this year, but you certainly want to book for next year. How do we get a hold of you?
Well, the best way to do it is to go to WhalersCoveLodge.com. That's I'll say it, WhalersCoveLodge.com, and check our availability, and our phone number's there. Or you can just simply dial 1-800-423-3123. Again, that's 1-800-423-3123, and talk to Jay or anybody that answers them, and they'll get you set up for this year or next year. And as I've said before, we're starting to book already pretty heavily for 2018, and we're booking 2019 now. So get your dates in so that you don't have disappointed.
Indeed. Hey, John, sure appreciate it. Captain John, Whalers Cove Lodge. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, next Sunday. Bye.
All right.
See you, John. All right, let's continue on Northern Catchport. Talk to the man. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing is on the line. Brian Woolley. What's up, Captain Woolley?
What's happening, guys? Good morning.
Doing great. What's going on at Dana Wharf?
Gosh, man, that sounds like some good fishing up there, huh?
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's killer.
Hey, you know, we had a great week up here as well. You know, I'll tell you the local action right now, it's absolutely game on for us. The water temps, for us, we saw like 70 to 74 this week. In some of the areas, I'd say it wasn't the best color, and it needed some current to help sort it out. But I'll tell you, just about any stretch of kelp from, say, Salt Creek down to the barn kelp, it's biting right now. We had perfect anchovy for bait, and it's translated into some phenomenal action again. As you guys know, a lot of our passengers are families with kids and first-time anglers, and this local bass fishing right now, it just has been a perfect opportunity for them to come out and enjoy some time on the water for sure. And we also continue to see a little bit of that yellowtail along the edges of the same kelp to kind of keep things exciting and stuff like that. So some sheephead, some sand bass too biting for the guys fishing on the sinkers along those same stretches of kelp and over some hard bottom. Kind of rounded out our counts there on the beach. Now the Fury, he's been over at Clemente. He's got some good fishing over there as well. Some really good bonito action and some yellowtail as well in their mix. But that anchovy over there, as you can imagine, too, translated into some good calico bass action for sure over there. I had the opportunity this week to have our last session of our Dana Wharf Kids Camp, on the Sun Fun. Man, we had a blast with these kids this week. Nothing short of amazing. These kids can fish, and it's just been a great opportunity for us to, get these kids comfortable in the sport boat environment, help them with some basic fishing etiquette, get them some skills, tying some knots, connections, all that kind of stuff. So super fun program. But, like I said, this is our last session for the summer, and it was just a cool week to spend with those kids, and they made new friends. And, fishing's cool again for a lot of these younger kids and, middle school and stuff like that. So it's good to see them out on the water and stuff like that as well. So that's kind of it for us. If you guys want to hop on a boat with us, certainly give us a call. Reservations are a must this time of the year. Our phone number here at the office is 949-496-5794. Of course, you can check us out on the web at danawharf.com. And as always, you guys want to save a few bucks on a local trip, click on the Dana Wharf banner ad right there on the front of the Let's Talk Hookup website, and we'll give you a little discount code, and you can book online with that code and save think it's 25% on one of these local
Big
trips.
time.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Brian. Sure appreciate that very much. Sounds like good fishing. Time to go, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, guys. Thanks for the time. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Gundy. All right, let's hit the surf now. Our surf guru, Gundy Gutherson's on the line, the Candy Man. What's up, Gundy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going this week?
We're doing great. Good morning. How's that surf fishing?
Oh, it's really good, really good. Midsummer, we're just rolling along. Excellent tide swing here. Grunion run. We're still into those grunion runs, and it's affected the fishing. We're seeing a shift. The Corvina fishing really good on the southern end, and then the halibut fishing lit up this week on the northern end. Starting up in Santa Barbara, hook, line, sinker reported excellent week of halibut fishing. Grunion ran through a lot of fish in the shallows. Harbor spit. At the harbor mouth, there's a big sand spit sticking out there, and the guys were throwing swim baits for legals 22 to 26 inches. Black Rock near Goleta, which is open beach, kicked out a 32 and a 34-inch fish, both double digits. The big hammer swim baits inside, and then the hard jerk baits out. Wiley's reported good halibut fishing all along this stretch. One of their regulars likes to soak the anchovy, and if you're not a lure thrower, a fresh frozen anchovy works real well, and he got an 8-pound fish checked in there. Just Fishing in Redondo reported excellent Corvina bite on all the South Bay beaches there. The key was early and late. Nugget sand crabs were working best. Good numbers of bonita, firecracker, yellowtail in and around the harbor there. Big fish reported bonita at the pier, Seal Beach Pier and Jetty. Guys are getting them on the splasher rigs there. Lots of mackerel mixed in. Real fishy situation. Lots of pinheads inside. Good halibut fishing, shoreline drive. Crocodiles were hot this week. And the guys bouncing for halibut were taking some 4-pound yellowfin croaker also outside the surf line, pushing that bait. Newport Beach, Ketchum Tackle reported great Corvina fishing on the peninsula. Early and late is again the key. Sand crabs best. Ghost shrimp for a better one. Hogan's reported some real nice quality halibut in and around the harbor. The guys are dragging swim baits from the short jetty or the long jetty into the harbor, on the outside of the harbor, some nice fish taken. Then Pacific Coast reported excellent Corvina and croaker action. Two more double-digit orangemouth. And this is interesting, Pete. The guys were reporting that the orangemouth Corvina were up on bait at the mouth of these lagoons, up chasing these small anchovies, and they were throwing crocodiles in there and took 2 fish over 10 pounds in there. So that's an interesting developing fishery there, and something I'm going to have to check out.
Do a little field research on, right?
That's so rad, Gundy.
Fishery making a comeback.
Yeah, man.
Boy.
Sounds so good. Gundy Gunderson, surf guru extraordinaire. Thanks a lot for a great report. Talk to you next Sunday.
Pleasure, gentlemen. Have a good week.
All right, appreciate it.
Well, that's going to wrap up our catch report. Man, there's some good catching to be reported there for sure. I want to remind you this report's sponsored in part by surffishtackle.com. Bill Varney doing such an awesome job with the email blast. And, hey, we want to remind you another great opportunity. If you want to learn surf fishing from the master himself, Bill's going to be having another one of his killer surf fishing clinics coming up this weekend at Carpinteria State Beach. So to sign up for the clinic or to get more information, just check out the website, surffishtackle.com. And, again, it's at Carpinteria State Beach. And those are an awesome, awesome way to learn all the ins and outs about surf fishing. When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great information. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime.
Fisherman's
Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. We are proud to say Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering half-day trips on the Dolphin, and now, for the first time in the long history of Fisherman's Landing, we have 3/4-day open party trips on the Liberty. We built the Liberty specifically to offer a better experience. Run by veteran captain Taro Takeuchi, the 85-foot Liberty is the first open party 3/4-day boat to offer bunks for your comfort. She also has huge bait capacity and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big galley and 2 interior heads with showers. Our open party trips from half-day, 3/4-day, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
When it comes to catching big bluefin tuna in local waters, Shimano has the gear proven to land the big ones. You already know the hot jig is the Shimano Butterfly Flatball Jig, and when you match that with the right tackle system, it makes this great jig even more effective. We suggest you grab a Tranx 500 HG and fill it with 80-pound Power Pro Max Quattro. Max Quattro is 25% thinner, which means 25% more line capacity when you hook that giant. Match your new setup with a Therese 70H and you have the power to put the wood to that big bluefin tuna. The Tranx 500 HG has the cranking power you need, and with the level wind, you concentrate on fishing your Shimano flatball and leave the line control to the Tranx reel. Hundreds of big fish have been caught on the flatball, and when you add the Power Pro Max Quattro Tranx Therese combo, you'll take your fishing to the next level. See your local dealer or check Shimano.com for all the details.
You've made the investment in a boat, and you know how important it is to take good care of it. That's why you need Monsoon Yacht Service. Mark and his staff specialize in taking care of your boat and making it look its best. No matter if it's on a trailer or in a slip, let Monsoon Yacht Service clean and polish your boat to make it look like new. Monsoon Yacht Service also does fiberglass and gel coat repair, custom rigging, and the best detailing you have ever seen. Be proud of your boat again with the help of Monsoon Yacht Service. 619-405-2176 or check monsoonyachtservice.com.
The bluefin are abundant this year, but getting them to bite is another story. But if you're willing to chase them, there's an opportunity to land the catch of a lifetime. Now, getting the deal of a lifetime on a new Ford is much less effort because the gigantic summer sales event is going on now at your San Diego County Ford dealer. Choose from a great selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs and save big on interest charges with 0 APR long-term financing. On top of that, your Ford dealer will give you an additional bonus for your qualified trade. This special offer is available to anyone who gets approved through Ford Motor Credit. You'll also find great deals on new Ford Super Duty, Motor Trend Magazine's 2017 Truck of the Year. So why chase deals all over town when you can land the deal of a lifetime on the new Ford, car, truck, or SUV you've always wanted during the Ford Summer Sales Event? Stop by any San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader. The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.